Hi, my name is Fran.
And I am Cody, and we are the appliance sales people of Capital Iron.
Yeah, today we want to talk about the differences between induction and electric and even gas. I had a customer the other day. She was asking about the differences between electric and induction, and also what is the benefit of induction over gas. I wanted to clarify some things with you.
Yeah, I mean, phenomenal question. We get it all the time, and I think the big thing is that the induction cooktop is a newer technology. It's taken over from the coils that we grew up in Grandma's house. I think the best part about induction is both the safety and the efficiency portion. They're incredibly efficient because it's literally just using a magnet to produce an electrical magnetic field, and that magnetic field excites the molecules inside of your pot and or pan.
Yeah.
So one of the big questions we have is, will my pan work on a new induction cooktop? And the answer to that question is simply to get yourself a good magnet, stick it on the bottom of the pan. If that magnet sticks to your pan will work on induction.
And I mean, the other question is, those kitchenware that they can use them on induction, are they expensive?
Usually they're going to be of a higher quality than most of the very basic, most dollar store frying pans that you can buy. And the reason is going to be they use a more ferrous metal, a better conductive metal on the inside. So usually it's going to be copper or steel. And the pans that usually don't work on inductions are going to have a bowed bottom or just be simply aluminum. And it's just not conductive enough to produce enough heat to actually cook your food.
If you want to compare with electric and gas from safety point of view or energy efficiency point of view, what is the difference?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think a big thing these days is safety. Everyone's got busy lives. You can't watch your stove to make sure that someone doesn't come by after you're done cooking something and touch it. And because induction stoves are actually creating the heat inside of the pan compared to the surface, that surface is going to remain roughly the same temperature after you're done cooking as when you are physically cooking. So if you take your pot of boiling water off, you should be able to bring that over to the sink and pour it out. And if somebody walks over and accidentally touches the stove, it's not going to burn them because the glass itself is not conductive. It is not producing heat. It is simply allowing that electromagnetic energy to transfer through it. So that's one of the major advantages of induction over electric. I think the other one though is the efficiency side. You're using 40 to 50% on average less electricity to physically get that pot of water up to the boiling point than you would be if you were using either a classic electric or a coil stove, which we used to see in the past all the time.
And the other question is, as you know, the most annoying thing is cleaning the surface after cooking. What is the difference between induction, electric, and also gas?
Yeah, you are not joking there. It is really frustrating when you buy a nice new glass cooktop and you let somebody cook in your kitchen and 2 weeks later you come in and it's got something scorched or burnt right to the surface of it. That is a just natural thing that's going to happen with an electric stove. Luckily with induction, because the glass itself is not producing that heat to the point where it's going to boil water, it's also not going to bake your sauce onto it at 1,000,000 degrees. So really it's a lot easier to clean because the potential for that one drip to be a drip forever is gone. You also don't necessarily have to use a scour pad or anything too abrasive because realistically the food shouldn't be cooked on there. A nice wet rag should be able to clean your induction cooktop, and then you can use a glass cleaner to make sure that there's no streaks and spots, and it really does help make a nice clean kitchen look.
And you know that many customers, they prefer gas to electric because they say that it's more precise. If you want to compare it with gas.
I mean, precision is subjective,
Yeah.
but I will say that a gas stove is visually a lot easier to recognize at what temperature you're setting it at. If you've got the thing cranked and you've got an 1.25 inch flame coming out of it, mentally you just simply know that that is going to be on high. Whereas if you can see just a little bit of blue that's popping out the bottom, you know it's going to be on low. I think with induction, obviously the settings that you choose are going to be, well, they matter. But for the most part, I mean, for myself, I love the fact that induction brings that pan up to temperature a lot faster than electric does. Now, can I say that it produces the same sear or the same smell as gas? No. And people who cook on gas love to cook on gas for a reason. I think professional chefs have that option. They will take it. But for the most part, constraints of living in a city are going to mean that not every building has access to gas.
Exactly.
So I think, I really do think induction is the way to go in that case, because you're going to be able to get close to the same precision without the environmental and the vapors that come off when you're cooking with gas. You don't necessarily have to have the same hood vents.
Exactly.
Your cubic feet per minute of how much your hood vent is sucking out can be a lot more accommodating for an induction stove than you would get on a gas. So I really do think if you're living in the city but you want that professional cooking experience, I think induction definitely takes the cake if you can't get a gas range. Our customers are always coming to us with great questions. I think it's mainly because this technology is consistently changing. And we are the type of nerds who love to do the research and have the answers for your questions. So please, please, please do not be afraid of the technology.
Then feel free to come by. We are here always for you, and we'll be more than happy to help you.
Welcome home.